everybody? It is Papa Dank, and this is Beyond the Barricade, and we are live right now. It is 7:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And without further ado, let me bring out my very special guest of the evening, Miss Davison, Sarai. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. How you doing?
Good, good. We already got a comment. What's going on?
Hey, I know him. It's going great.
You know Geek? Metal
sorry?
Geek? You know Metal Geek?
Yeah. We did. I was on their podcast. I'm trying to remember what it was called.
Dudes at Ringside.
There you go. Yeah. Did it maybe about 3-4 months ago.
Oh, okay. Now they've gone their separate ways. So Geek's doing his own thing.
Rip.
All right, let's talk about some upcoming matches you have before we
Cool.
get into your history a little bit. Let's talk about you facing Jessica Havoc at Chaos Wrestling Organization
Damn right.
on Sunday, August 13th. What are your thoughts going into this match?
This is super exciting. I would say she's probably the biggest name that I'll have faced. Now, I just wrestled Melanie Cruz, who was in Shimmer for a long time.
Okay.
She was the biggest name, but yeah, this is a big one for me.
This is
So
big.
I'm excited. It's funny for me because I don't really get starstruck. So I know a lot of people would get anxious wrestling a name. I'm like, nah, let's go.
You're ready to go.
That's where I want to go. Yeah, I want to compare myself to bigger names and let people go, oh shit, she's okay.
Absolutely. Okay.
That's
All
what I
right.
do. Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be really cool.
Awesome. All right, let's go into this next match. Now you're actually facing Chaos
Yes,
at Breaking Point for MPW on August 19th.
that's going to be a big deal too because we're kind of starting to stand out as there's a growing Michigan scene for women's wrestling. But we're like the beasts of I'm almost 6 feet tall. She's almost my size. It's going to be Godzilla versus King Kong every time we face each other.
6 feet tall? Wow.
I'm already on 6
You're
feet.
tall.
Yeah. So,
I'm at 6'3", so you're pretty close to me.
I'm pretty close. Yeah, I'm up there. Yeah.
And let's talk about you were featured on one of Brian F. Pro's Pride representation that he did. He did 5 of these, and you're on one of them. And
I am.
There you are.
There we go. You got good production.
Yeah, that's all a click of a hand. So
Amazing. Yeah, I was super flattered.
That's awesome, right? He does amazing work. Not only does he do pieces like this, he also does graphics for a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah, if he puts anywhere near that amount of detail into wrestling flyers or promo pics, that's fantastic. And I was super flattered. I didn't realize this series existed until somebody tagged me in it. I was like, oh. It was last year. I didn't know the QWI, the queer wrestler, in the top 200. I didn't know that existed until somebody tagged me in it, and I was like 196 out of 200.
That's awesome, man.
That was very exciting. It's goddamn, that's great.
Good stuff, man. Brian does a lot of great work. He's working on other stuff too, other projects, but yeah, good stuff. Make sure you guys go follow Brian F. Pro, man, and check out his work.
That looks great.
Serena says hello. How are you, Serena? Geek says she was on Dudes at Ringside. Rest in peace.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go into how you fell in love with this wonderful world that we call professional wrestling.
Oh my God.
It's a love story, Davison.
It is a love story. It's funny. I'm significantly older than people realize. It's been a long romance. I think the first person I ever saw on TV was Ricky Steamboat, if I remember correctly. And I'm talking
Ricky the Dragon. I'm
talking jobber match, Sunday morning, when you see the blue pants and white boots, old.
Wow.
That's how old I am.
That's what I remember. Something like that.
It's it's like anybody though. It's escapism. It's what? I'd seen boxing and I'd seen movies. I'd seen stuff there's nothing like wrestling, obviously.
Nothing like it.
I don't remember when I don't remember when my perspective on wrestling changed. If you know what I'm not saying right now. For a really long time, I was all the way tuned in. My neighbor and I built a wrestling dummy, a hooded sweatshirt and sweatpants, stuffed it with pillows and clothes and newspapers and stuff, OG backyard wrestling from young. Just fell in love with it young and just did all the same crap that everybody does. Marked out from a young age. And then after being obsessed for years and years and years, in college, I went up and worked out with Mike Shaw. That was Bastion Booger. He lived in the UP of Michigan for quite a long time. So I worked out with him for like a couple of weeks, and I was like, nope, this is not for me. And then way after the fact, I was doing a podcast in a local. Whoops. I'm back. Sorry, lightning. It killed my power for a second.
My Wi-Fi went out.
I had lightning kick my lights off. Was it the exact same time?
I think so. I'm like, what the hell happened? Are you in New York?
This shit is cursed. No, we got thunderstorms in Southwest Michigan. My shit just flashed, and all of a sudden we went off. I was like, that's crazy.
Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you, man. We're having a hard ass time here.
That is so freaky that at the same time our stuff went out. Oh my god.
It's because of all this. We got to take it back. I'm taking back everything I said about dudes at ringside. Like,
this is Metal Geek. The Metal Geek. Metal Geek dudes at ringside. All right, let's go. I know we don't have that much time, but let's go into how you felt. We went about how you fell in professional wrestling, how you started training to become professional wrestling, and who were your trainers.
There we go. Yeah, we got to do this fast before the fucking lightning hits again. So I was doing a podcast. A friend of mine, Mark, got a hold of me. He worked at a radio station, so he had like a little bit of air. And a local wrestler named Josh Raymond, who used to wrestle all around the Midwest as Josh Abercrombie, like early 2000s on up. And he eventually did like Ring of Honor. He was in that season of MTV, like Wrestling Society X. Remember that?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He was Jug. He was one of the hillbillies. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So he heard our podcast. We were doing some advertising for one of his shows. He came on. We met. He liked our shtick. So he had us join him as announcers and like commentating for about a year for him, the color commentary. That shit's absurd. If you ever want to hear that, I could link you. But so then everything shuts down in 2020, right? Like it was March or April, everything shuts down. So in August, I went and asked him if I could start training with him. Not even to wrestle, but just because like I wanted to work out and I was bored with the usual stuff. So I went and tried it out, and I almost died the day of, like vomiting, dehydration, vertigo, blood sugar, like everything you can imagine. It was the worst.
It's tough to train to be a wrestler.
Everybody's got their story. That's mine. It was rough. But yeah, I mean, picked it up pretty quick, and then I debuted in his company that he runs, which isn't uncommon for like a wrestling school to have like their fan. Right. So it's called Independence Pro Wrestling in West Michigan. And at the time, I was the only woman training, and now there's another woman, but it's rare, I think, as you know.
It's very rare for women wrestlers nowadays. So we need more women wrestlers to sign up and start training.
Well, if all the guys around here stop being douchebags, more women would probably sign up.
Touche. There are a lot of douchebags out there. I have to agree with you.
But so yeah, eventually.
And promoters too. Don't forget the promoters.
I'm not going to say anything about promoters.
Some shady promoters out there too. So
they're amazing people. Promoters are the best.
Some are the best though. Some are.
You can say whatever you want. I need to get jobs. But so yeah, I eventually debuted in IPW. I won the IPW women's title in my debut match. I wrestled a woman named Randy West, who's really well known for like deathmatch wrestling. Yeah, I wrestled her in my debut, and then I wrestled her in my fifth match in a hardcore match. I did like thumbtacks and all that crazy shit.
Oh man, how was that match?
Rough.
I bet.
Yeah, it's a good match. I stand by it. It's like 16 minutes of brutality, like all over the building, chairs, all of it. It's good stuff.
But you prefer just straight regular matches than death matches?
Oh, I'm not talking death. I'm not into glass or fire or any of that wildness. Okay. No. Thumbtacks, I just wanted to try it, see how that went. I didn't love it. But yeah, I actually trained mostly to do like technical. I love like British. I love the technical aspects of lucha. Like Dean Malenko and Steve Regal and all those folks are my favorites coming up. And now like Zack Sabre Jr. And it's cool with women too, like Serena Deebs and yes. I always forget her name. Roderick Strong's wife.
Marina Shafir, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so like there's that new breed of like legit ass kickers.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Who has been your favorite opponent so far in your career and why?
Why is my screen out? Oh, that's fine. My favorite opponent? Yes. Let me think about that. Well, can I have two answers?
Absolutely.
I have two. My favorite women's opponent, I would say probably was a local Michigan wrestler named Heather Blue. Okay. She's pretty young. She's from the other side of the state. And so she's really dominated like the Detroit, Flint, like that whole west side of Michigan. I'm like on the west side doing Kalamazoo, but then I've also done Indiana, Illinois, like Wisconsin area. So now we're like a year and a half in both, and we were supposed to wrestle the other weekend, but we had like a 15-minute fucking banger.
Really?
Us both multiple jobs just based off that match. Now I wrestled like Melanie Cruz from Shimmer, and that was super fun. But probably my favorite match was with a guy that I trained with, this guy Casey Tempest from IPW here in Kalamazoo. I'd been gone from the Fed for like 6-7 months. And so when I came back, it was a total surprise. And it was against a guy, and it was the first intergender match I think they'd had at that point. So it was like the crowd was super hyped to have me back. I trained with him, so we had good chemistry. Underdog story, which is always fun. So that's a good one too. Yeah,
awesome. Serena says, is that the woman you just faced at Chaos?
Heather Blue? I ended up pulling out. It was Heather Blue, but I didn't make it. I've got gastroenteritis that comes and goes, and it hit at the worst possible time. I had to cancel my whole weekend.
Oh, man.
It sucks, but it's what it is.
All right. Opponent you want to wrestle in the indie scene that you haven't wrestled so far, and why?
I want to wrestle Serena Deebs from AEW, if anybody can afford her.
That's right. Anybody can afford her.
Yo, I was recently trying to get a hold of Sue Young from Impact. I love to wrestle Sue Young.
Okay.
Like to wrestle Abaddon, any of that kind of like creepier.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because my character is like, it's kind of all over the map, but I'm a psychologist in real life. I'm a mental health therapist. Mm-hmm. So one part of my character is this like diabolical, sadistic therapist type, like Hannibal Lecter. But then there's also like the black metal, aspect of like, I'm from like a hardcore scene. I used to play in like metal bands and shit. So like it's combining those two things. So when I get the chance to wrestle a spookier character, I can kind of bring a little bit like that supernatural stuff.
Okay. All right. Has Mother Endless made it to that list?
Say that again.
Mother Endless?
I don't
know you're not familiar with Mother Endless.
I don't think so.
I got a picture of her somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to show her real quick because she's doing my local promotion, Victory Pro Wrestling. She's going to make her debut. And there she is in the corner. You see her?
I see a total nut job. Is that her?
That's Mother Endless. she gave me nightmares, man.
That's amazing. Now you're in New York. That's in New York?
That's in New York, yeah. Long Island, New York. Mother Endless or Anastasia Morningstar. That would be a good one.
I'm just saying, I would not mind coming and working the East Coast. Do you know Angel Metro? She does like New Jersey.
I've definitely heard of her. Yes, we're trying to get her on the show. Yes.
Yeah, I met her down in Cleveland at Ricochet Page's thing. We're pretty friendly. Like I told her I want to come out to the East Coast. So, people, I'd be more happy to come.
I know people. We got this. We got it. It was just announced last night because I'm part of Wrestling Is Now.
Yeah.
Part of the SATs promotion, and they just announced on their September show Jordan Grace.
Oh man.
Last night on my podcast.
Jordan Grace.
I was like, shit, you got to find someone to wrestle Jordan Grace? That's like, you're going to have a long list of people waiting in line.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of people I'd like kill to wrestle. I might kill to get the fuck away from Jordan Grace. I'm not ready.
They're all going to be lining up to wrestle. I'll come. I'll do it.
No. I'll dig the hole. I'll dig the hole for whoever does it.
It's going to be quite a match. Wrestling Is Now is a great promotion.
Yeah, SAT, that's awesome.
SAT, man. Yeah, man. I just had them on actually last night. I'm part of their social media tour, so I'm excited to be part of that tour. and excited for the show this Saturday. But let's talk about you, though.
Fine. Let's do
All right. Goals for the rest of the year that you have set for yourself.
Oh, that's funny. I initially set my goal by the end of this year to break into Chicago, which I did at the end of last year, and to maybe get into Ohio because I was trying to spread it out, and I did that in March. So
awesome.
I hit him quick. So really, it's just turned into like, who can I convince to put me in a ring with a bigger name? And I don't have like a hard list. I'm like an opportunist.
Right.
So when I realize somebody's got pull like with a certain name, or I see something happening over there, like I'm just kind of like trying to navigate and get in. So this isn't a sexy answer, but like I'm still like building the network. Like I'm still pretty new. I've only been out for like a year and a half.
Right.
So the chance to work with bigger names like in my local area, but maybe it's a little bit out, like that 45, 50 minutes outside of the zone, and just keep spreading it. So if I could break down the East Coast by the end of this year, I would absolutely love that.
Well, that's the thing, making the connections. That's how you're going to do it. Different federations and stuff like that,
Yeah, exactly.
Different podcasts. I'm not just saying mine, but podcasts in general, different areas. So yeah, definitely. That's a good mindset.
Yeah, try to be realistic.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think is important when you're going into a match, like doing like a promo and stuff? Because I know a lot of wrestlers, they don't really do promos for their matches. They're just, oh yeah, I'm going to be here, and then that's it.
I know, it's lame, isn't it?
It is. You should be like, hey, I'm going to face so-and-so, or hey, anybody wants to challenge me, I'm ready. I'm going to be at blah, 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 Federation, blah, blah, right?
Do you know that I won a Michigan promo tournament last year?
Did you really?
Undefeated. Yeah. Cleaned the house.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Clean sweep. So it was a thing called Michigan Indie Idol, and they had it like the year before I came along.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny because it's like, it's not huge names. It's usually like moderately known people to like kind of rookies, like trying to kind of come up.
Right.
And so my coach, who's pretty conservative in terms of like protecting your image, was like, you shouldn't do that. Like, why? There's really no big names. If you win, who cares? And if you lose, you look like an idiot. I was like, okay, then I'll just win.
Right.
So I did. So Texas or Arkansas.
Serena says Texas or Arkansas. We do know people in both states.
Here's my fear.
Company.
I'm a transgender person, and it's 2023, and those places are terrifying right now.
Our friends at MCW aren't in Arkansas. Absolutely not.
Is it? It's not. Say it. I don't.
I'm gonna pop up because I'm part of their anti-bullying tour.
Oh, beautiful.
So that is our logo together, but it's MCW down in Arkansas, and Ray Ivy, who's on Pride. He was just on the other day, and he was talking about, what he went through as a gay man in Arkansas, and that he works for that company, and everybody's a family down there. So
yeah,
I got you with that, at least with MCW. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I love that as an idea. What I explain to people is like, I'm not concerned about the company. I'm concerned about the 1,000 miles between me and the company.
Gotcha.
And,
all right.
Like, it sucks to say it's a reality, but like
absolutely, it does. It's terrible.
Yeah, I had a thing booked in West Virginia last month, and I canceled. I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm driving to West Virginia right now.
Yeah,
too many cops, too many opportunities for a flat tire, too many everything. Like, it sucks, but it's realistic.
It does suck, man, and it shouldn't be that way in this day and age.
Nah. So I'm glad you're working with an organization.
For goodness sake, we announced Alien Life today.
What?
It was like my son sent me this thing. I'm like, what the hell is this thing?
What did I miss?
It was apparently they said, we have a body and it's not human.
They finally fully admitted it.
They kind of hinted strongly at it, but didn't say, hey, we have an alien body. This is what we found. They're like kind of slowly introducing things, it looks like.
Well.
Is Davison a girl from Rise?
I mean, it would appear to be.
That's it. Yeah, please be respectful. Absolutely. Please be respectful. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm kicking you out. Done. Bye-bye. But yeah, so alien life is a thing. Yeah, and they were talking about in the videos I saw objects that they can't describe. Like, you've seen the videos.
I've been paying a lot of attention. The whole like 10Gs thing, breaking all the laws of physics, disappearing. Like,
I mean, I know we're getting off topic, but there is no way. And if you look at our history and the pyramids all over the world, there's no way that the pyramids just magically happen all over the world. It's impossible.
This is more interesting to me than pro wrestling anyway.
I'm totally into it. I'm an ancient aliens guy, and I watch every single episode, and I'm like, this is reality. There's no way that we have not been visited, whether it's from another part of the universe or in a different dimension, but whatever. But we've definitely been visited, 100%.
And I like the theories about like Tesla coming up with that technology. Like, how could that possibly exist? How could Apple have come up with all that technology out of nowhere?
If you notice, like ever since the Roswell incident to now, our technology has quadrupled in intensity, and it's like, holy shit! Like, look, you got a cell phone that does everything for you. You don't need a calculator. You don't need. You remember you used to have to get the navigation units.
Yeah, garbage.
You don't need that. You just plug in your phone, and that's it.
I was worse than that. I was playing in a hardcore band in '99. We had fucking Yahoo map printouts, 5 pages of paper.
Yo, I remember when I was a kid, we're like taking out the maps and like, where are we going?
I wish I had an alien back then. Fuck those maps. Give me
fuck yeah, that's right.
Interstellar experience.
Wow, we went from wrestling beginnings to ancient aliens.
This is how my interviews always go.
In 25 minutes.
This is average. This is normal for me. I'm surprised we haven't talked about witchcraft or anything yet. That's usually
we'll save that for our next episode. All right.
Fine.
Let's leave it off since it's almost time. Let's leave it off on upcoming events you got going on where everybody can follow you.
Yeah, for sure. I've loved this appearance, by the way. This is really fun.
Hey, man, I had a lot of fun, too. Thank you very much for coming on.
So this Saturday is July the 29th, and I'll be at Pro Wrestling King down in the South Bend, Indiana area. Okay. I don't remember my opponent, but I'm sure they'll regret their decision to sign up for that show.
Oh, there you go. There's a promo in the works.
Friday, August 4th, I'm not performing, but I will be at the Old Miami Bar in Detroit at the Flophouse show. If you don't know Flophouse, they're from Indianapolis, Indiana. Super fun, like really good vibes. Deathmatch and like 80s feel-good stuff somehow on the same show. I don't know how to do that, but it's great. On Saturday the 12th, I'll be at IPW here in Kalamazoo. On the 13th, I'll be at Chaos Wrestling in the Thumb of Michigan, wrestling Jessica Havoc, as you mentioned. I'll be debuting at Metro Pro Wrestling on the 19th against Chaos, as you showed. And on the 26th, I'll be debuting at, it's not debut, I'll be at Pro Wrestling King again, also against Chaos in Northern Indiana, taking the shit down the road.
Awesome.
Also got a couple of dates in September. I've got Saturday the 6th in Illinois at Rocket Pro Wrestling. That's Joliet, about a half hour south of Chicago. And I've got a Pro Wrestling King weekend, September 22nd and 23rd. I believe they have like a big end of summer, like a carnival or something down, like a big top carnival. And then I'll be at Chaos Wrestling again on September the 30th in East Michigan.
Awesome. And everybody can follow you where? Everywhere.
I'm obnoxious. Facebook, all of it, right? Instagram, Twitter, you name it. So I'm pretty active on Instagram and Facebook. You can get me on Twitter. TikTok is up and running, and I got a pretty good YouTube channel put together.
Awesome. Make sure you check out Davison's channel. Make sure you follow her. And I just want to say real quick, if you're going to come on my channel and talk trash in the comments, do not come on and talk your trash, because I am kicking everybody out. And I had to kick out another person who said terrible comments. I just kicked them out. So don't even try it. You will be kicked out 100%. All right.
If he doesn't kick you out, I'll reach through the computer screen and pull you close, and I'll break your fucking face.
We'll send the aliens after you.
That's right. Probe your ass, never-endingly.
This Saturday, I will be at Wrestling Is Now Maximo Legacy Tag Team Tournament, where they're going to crown their first World's Tag Team Champion, and Joey Conway is going to fight PJ Savage for that World Heavyweight Championship. And there is a women division coming, which we talked about last night on the podcast. So I'm excited for that. Sweet. Like they mentioned last night, Jordan Grace and Jonathan Gresham will be at the September show. So go to Wrestling Is Now to get your tickets for this Saturday's event and September's event as well. And then I will be back at 8:30 to do a prediction show for Win on Metal Geek's channel, Geeking Out with Metal Geek, alongside Raymond Sanchez of Respect the Craft, as we do a prediction show together. As podcasts unite, Davison.
Metal Geek. That's my man.
That's my guy too, man. I love that you did that to me, Serena.
Which part? The screaming into the camera?
The whole thing. Serena loves it all. No, Serena, we changed it to 8:30. The Maximals are going on their Instagram live to talk about some stuff, so we're gonna give them till 8:30. All right. But thank you very much, everybody. Davison, just stick around. Everybody else, have a good night. I'll see you on Metal Geek's channel at 8:30.